to another episode of Random Movie Reviews, where I review completely random movies. And throughout that opening Disney logo that I just created, let's review Disney movies. But let's mix it up a little bit. Let's not just talk about Disney movies that are so popular, you know, like the Renaissance and all that stuff. Let's talk about some overlooked Disney films that are just completely underrated, people don't really talk about. We're going to talk about those films that I've watched as a kid and I remembered it, but people don't appreciate them. And Bolt is definitely one of those movies. I remember seeing Bolt back in 2008 when I was 8 years old. It's the right time when the movie comes out. I was 8, I watched it in the theaters and I fell in love with it, but I haven't seen this movie in so long. So I watched Bolt today, and does it still hold up? Let's find out.
I've altered him. He can protect you now.
Bolt, speak.
Get that dog!
Nice move.
You'll never see Penny again! And cut.
So Bolt is an animated film telling the story of this dog named Bolt, voiced by John Travolta, who is part of this very famous TV show about this superpowered dog rescuing his damsel in distress, which is his actual owner Penny, voiced by Miley Cyrus, from this evil scientist, which is this green-eyed man known as Dr. Calico. But the problem is, Bolt thinks this whole show is all real. He thinks his superpowers is all real, and when he escaped unexpectedly because he thinks the show is all real, he's got shipped from New York City far away from his owner Penny. So Bolt goes out on this adventure with his new friends to get back home. Now, as I said before, I've seen Bolt when I was like 8 years old in the theater, and I haven't seen this movie in so long. Maybe after I saw this movie in the theater, I have watched it a couple of times, but I haven't seen this movie in a very, very long time until now. And definitely Bolt is one of the most underrated Disney films that I've ever seen. I loved Bolt more than I thought I would. It's weird that people don't really talk about Bolt. Like, a lot of people talk more about Frozen, talk more about Big Hero 6, talk more about Moana, Zootopia, and they are great movies. And this is from the same company as those movies from Walt Disney Animation Studios, but it's in the time where basically Disney movies are very, very overlooked and Pixar is basically taking over. You know, to start off with Meet the Robinsons, etc., etc., people just don't talk about these movies all that much. Until, like, you know, Tangled, Frozen came out, but no one talks about Bolt. I thought Bolt is a very cute Disney film. It's definitely a really fun, overlooked Disney film that I think people should just check out, especially rewatch if they haven't seen the movie in a while. Of course, we're going to talk about the main protagonist, Bolt, voiced by John Travolta. Voice acting as Bolt was really great in the film. Great voice casting choice right there. But let's talk about Bolt as a character. You really fell in love with Bolt as a character, especially when I watched this film. Like, yes, I get his motivations. Because he's this dog who thinks all of this TV show stuff is real because he's been raised basically in the TV set. So he thinks this whole story with Penny getting in trouble, all that stuff is all real. And he thinks his superpowers is all real. And basically the whole production of Bolt are complete assholes. They feel like, oh yeah, we should make Bolt believe all this is real to get the audience invested. And you think about it, you get the motivations, but at the same time, the story of this movie is actually pretty dark. Like a dog thinking this whole TV show is real and hasn't experienced the real world. Yeah, this movie is basically the Truman Show for kids, basically. But when Bolt is outside in the real world, it's all new for him, and he still thinks his superpowers is all real, which of course it isn't. So when he tries his superpowers, it doesn't really work. Basically teaches Bolt about the real world, saying that he's from a TV show, that his whole superpower thing isn't real. Really enjoyed Bolt's journey from being this really lunatic, delusional dog that thinks everything is all real to a very lovable dog, and I really love his character in the movie. But also, let's talk about the side characters that Bolt got along with. Mittens. I thought Mittens is a really interesting character. At the start, she was pretty annoying because she's basically one of those cats that's like, oh, I care about myself. She uses pigeons as slaves to get her food because she's one of those stray cats, which Bolt thinks it's the cat that works for the evil guy from the TV show. But then when you watch the movie throughout the story, you really love the chemistry between Bolt and Mittens. It's a very cute friendship type story. But also she's a really heartwarming character, especially when they told her backstory in the film, and I thought her backstory was actually really emotional and relatable to all pets out there. But of course, we're going to talk about the best character, in my opinion, in this film, and that is Rhino, the hamster. He's basically a super fan of the Bolt TV show, and he also thinks the whole thing is all real, and Reiner is just awesome. He could be an annoying character, especially when you introduce him, you're like, oh, he could be one of those annoying characters, but no, he is so likable in the film, and he's definitely the biggest comic relief in the film. He made me laugh so many times.
I can be a valuable addition to your team.
The road will be rough.
I have a ball.
Easy won't be part of the equation.
Promise.
Danger at every turn.
I eat danger for breakfast.
You hungry?
Starving.
But the thing about Bolt that's really, really cute is this whole trio going on a journey to basically get home. And I thought the trio, the team, the chemistry, was really good, and you don't want them to basically separate because you love them three together. Also, we should talk about Penny, voiced by Miley Cyrus. I didn't get to mention Penny because it's one of the most important parts about this film. Because Penny's chemistry with Bolt was just so sweet. There's a scene where Bolt is basically covering the trailer door for Penny so she's safe, but of course Penny knows the TV show isn't real, and she knows that Bolt has been raised thinking that superpowers is all real. So when you see her basically going through this dick-ass agent right there thinking, oh no, it looks like Bolt thinks it's all real, so the audience get invested, it's really emotional, especially for Penny's character. The animation in this movie honestly still holds up till today, and Disney of course does great animation, but this is in the era when 3D animation's starting to appear, and the animation does hold up to this day. It came out in 2008 and it still holds up. But the most underrated thing about Bolt is actually the score in the movie. Like, the score in this movie is very adventurous, it's very beautiful, it's very peaceful as well. Even the soundtrack, the songs in the movie, like Barking from the Moon or whatever, that song was beautiful. That whole montage was a very cute montage of Bolt basically learning how to be a dog and all that stuff, and that song was so beautiful. And of course, I Thought I Lost You, sang by Miley Cyrus and John Travolta, that's also a really good song. The soundtrack of this movie is just very underrated, and this movie's cute. I love how cute this movie is, and not because I'm a dog lover, it's just a story in general. Like, it comes from The Truman Show to this whole road trip era movie, and I really do like Bolt. Bolt is one of the most underrated Disney films of all time, and I will review more underrated, overlooked Disney films because there's a lot of those out there. But Bolt is definitely a movie you should just rewatch. I recommend you guys rewatch Bolt. I think Bolt is a really cute movie, has a great story, great characters, great soundtrack, great music. The movie was very cute, it was very sweet, it's a great adventure film, and I thought the voice casting and characters were all very well done. So guys, I would recommend you guys to rewatch Bolt, and hopefully you guys remember it as much as I do. So guys, that is my random movie review for Bolt. Let me know what you think of Bolt in the comments below. Do you like the movie, hate the movie, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter. Keep contacting me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notified for my latest reviews, and have a nice day.
Let it begin!